This has been a presentation of CSN, the Columbus Sports Network.
When you want fun,
we want to play Fort Rapids.
Bring your family and friends to Fort Rapids, the western frontier for wet, wonderful fun in Columbus. Let the kids play for the day or stay for an unforgettable vacation getaway in one of our 338 resort villas and guest suites. Perfect for any size group or business get-together. It's 80 degrees and sunny every day at Fort Rapids, your best resort for family fun.
We want to play Fort Rapids. We want to splash, rise, Fort Rapids. Fort Rapids.
Global warming. Some say irreversible consequences are 30 years away. 30 years? That won't affect me.
'60-inch screen, high definition. Football season is coming up. You can watch it right here. What do you think?
I'll take it.
Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You're right. I don't need it.
It's just another gorgeous day for golf at the course that Jack built during the 2007 edition of the Memorial Tournament. Now, the breeze here is kicked up just a little. Our leader now is just about ready to tee off. As he approaches the tee, I'm trying to get a read on what's going to happen here. And oh, I don't think he's going to like that shot. Call me crazy, but that looks like an unplayable lie there. Let's see if we can get a marshal over there for a ruling, or at least to provide another bowl. I'm not sure if that was buttered or not.
The engines are all tuned up. The lugs are tight. Visors are down. Steering wheels on. It's time to go green flag racing here on CSN. Well, it's a gorgeous night as the sun is beginning to set here in Central Ohio. We welcome you to the Columbus Motor Speedway in Obetz, Ohio. Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Thacker along with Dan Boots Launchonette. Glad to have you with us as we're excited to bring you 5 divisions of exciting racing with a lot of local talent. I tell you what, let's go ahead, Dan, and take a look at the compacts first. These are the smallest cars, but they bring a lot of excitement to the fans.
5 cars wide. It's like Dublin and 270 on Friday night at 5 o'clock. It's insane.
And the feature car in that division, no doubt, has to be the number 70 car.
Yeah, he has an unfair advantage. He is the crew chief for the Zero Hill car, but he's been around this track his whole life, and he knows his way around that track, and he'll use that top groove. And as you watch, every car tonight that uses that top groove will get to the front.
The next division is the Legends race. These are the miniature mid-40s Fords, if you will. And number 5, anywhere he's been in Ohio, he's been eating up the track.
Oh, yeah, he's 3 for 3 this season. I went to Killcare last night and watched him win the feature. And I tell you what, he's flying. And he's very familiar with the Columbus Motor Speedway, so he ought to put on a good show for us tonight.
Now the modified division, the open wheel cars, as they're running behind us. And I tell you, there's a couple of drivers there that can get it done in the modified.
Oh, absolutely. You got Terry Humphreys, previous track champion. He was born and raised, and I think he was born on the backstretch.
Now let's talk about the late models. The late models is more like the stock car racing that you know in the Nextel circuit. There's been a special groove, a higher groove cut on the Columbus Motor Speedway, especially for this division. Oh. And let's talk about the defending track champion, Donnie Hill.
Oh, yeah, and he knows how to work that top groove. you watch during the race, depending where he starts, but he'll jump out ahead of the pack. And the other thing is he would have won last week, but he did have misfortune of blowing a flat tire. So he's ready to win, and I think he'll get to the front.
And then the nightcap is the Camaros, the Firebirds, the Trans Ams. That's the sports stock, and that is who? James Harding.
James Harding. I'll tell you what, these are the cars you used to see as a kid traveling down the road, and these are the ones closest to what we're used to seeing. Harding's a good driver, and the thing about Harding, he races fair and clean, but when he needs to get aggressive, he will bang a bumper on someone, so he makes it for fun racing.
Well, the heat racing is heating up behind us, and we're going to be ready for exciting racing action here from the Columbus Motor Speedway right after this.
Now that Insight offers TV, internet, and phone, we've become
corporate was asked to help promote how we're changing as a company.
Complete Communications Company, or C3. C3 is catchy, it's
stupid. Look, we're not about a letter with a 3 on it.
We're about being local.
And keeping things simple.
Is that changing?
No. Sure, we're now more than just TV, but we're still Insight.
We did do T-shirts.
Start something new with Time Warner Cable. With our digital cable service, you'll get more choices and more control than ever before. Pick from over 200 channels of programming, including up to 45 channels of commercial-free CD-quality music. And find the shows you're looking for with our interactive programming guide. Free with digital cable. So start something new. Call Time Warner Cable and upgrade to digital cable today. Discover digital cable service from Time Warner Cable. And discover the power of you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Columbus Motor Speedway. We're ready to drop the flag down as we get ready to go under green with the compact division of 20 laps. And this is very exciting, not only for us, but also for the fans.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to see some 5-wide racing going into one. Hopefully when they drop the green, you'll see some of them cars. You're going to see Jason Dent.
Jason Dennis, as you mentioned, the points leader, not far behind Gary Smallwood. Dale Correa, also a guy there right behind the top 2.
Oh, yeah. Jason Dennis is the one to watch. Michael Heiler's another one. I think he was track champ last year. He's going to go high.
Now let's take a look at the starting lineups for this first race of the evening. As we take a look there, Stevenson in the 44 car, and then Ramey, the 85 car. Who jumps out at you there?
Bill Ramey. This is his 3rd season in a row. So, well, that's the other Ramey. I'm sorry. 85 is the nephew, but he knows the track well.
Ramey.
Brad Ramey. Sorry about that. Stand corrected. But the number 2 cars go down. I got a little ahead of myself there. Sorry about that.
Now the crazy compacts we mentioned to you, 20 laps. These are cars that cost about $1,500 to build, so it's a lot more cost-effective to build these. These are front-wheel drive cars. The average speed for these vehicles on the back straightaway somewhere in the mid-70s.
Absolutely, yes. Some of the faster guys are going 77 on the backstretch.
So now the pace car ready to take our lineup around the 3rd mile oval here at Columbus Motor Speedway. Not very banked, you know, just a little bit of degrees. The back straightaway faster than the near straightaway because
if you look on your TV screen, you'll see the back, the pond. The pond is where the water runoff. So if you look, it's almost an optical illusion, you might say, Eric. Is on the backstretch, you're going downhill. Now 4 is a hairy turn for all these guys because even these drivers don't realize you're starting to go back uphill in turn 4.
There's the pond there, and again, as the water drains off, so thus the asphalt kind of, you know, goes downhill a little bit. Remember, the oval 3rd mile track here was paved in the 50s. It was a dirt track originally.
Yes, it was.
So they've been running on asphalt for many decades here, and some of the best drivers not only in Central Ohio, but around the Buckeye State and a few other states too, come here to Columbus Motor Speedway to race. This is the division that's going to bring most of the excitement because the fact that they will run 3, 4, and did I hear you right? 5 wide?
5 wide, and it's usually in turn 1. Because like back to the pond thing we were talking about, turn 2 you get comfortable with turn 2. So a lot of guys get super aggressive. So when they're building themselves out coming up 1, and this turn 2 is where the big wrecks happen.
What a lot of times the crew chiefs have to do is after the heat races, which preluded these races here, the feature races, the sun finally broke. And now with the weather getting cooler, they're having to adjust their air pressure in their tires for cooler weather running.
Right, absolutely. If you watch the faster guys tonight, they've adjusted for the temperature drop. You hear Jeff Gordon and some of the NASCAR drivers, they'll talk about air pressure. They're 1 pound at 200 mile an hour, 190 mile an hour. Well, these guys are going 70 mile an hour, and they're talking 4 or 5 pounds. If they have a little bit too much air pressure, chances are it'll slow down or they'll break out from their qualifying time.
Again, should be an exciting race. Many cars out there, and again, who are some of the drivers we're going to look at in this one?
Number 70 for sure. He was my pick naturally. Jason Dennis. Any car you see out there with a fluorescent green top, they're all teammates. We'll call them like the little Hendrick family, you might say. Those 3 guys share each other's secrets, and when they will go high. The 69 car of Donnie Nash and the 24 car of Smallwood. They're all going to try to get in the upper groove and pick the right holes.
No doubt when the green flag drops, everybody wants the race to the front, but there has to be some kind of strategy, especially with this amount of crowd of cars on the track. What is the first thing you look to do in this division?
Well, the main thing is you got to set your car to run the higher groove, clear up to the late models. If you don't do that, you're just not going to qualify. You're not going to get around the pack, and it's a lot of luck in this division because you got some young drivers. There's drivers in this division that are old as 16 years old, young as 16 years old.
16 years old, just old enough to get a driver's license, but are more experienced than other drivers because they've been, driving other sorts of, other forms of vehicles on this track.
A few years back, I got wrecked by a person that didn't even have a driver's license, and they were out on the track. But that's okay. It's a learning division. Hopefully, they'll grow up and become a late model, or even make it to NASCAR. You never know.
You mentioned something, Dan, about the groove, and Boots, we got to talk about this because when we get to the late model division a little later on in the evening, a lot of people were kind of, I want to say bored with the choo-choo and the caboose kind of thing. It's always been a single line. So what they've done here at the Columbus Motor Speedway, they cut into the asphalt and developed another groove on the higher side. And that is what the cars are sitting on now. As you take a look at it right there, that gentleman is walking on that new groove.
Right.
We're going to see that play a big part of tonight's racing.
Now, you'll notice during the race, a lot of guys in that groove are going to drop their left tire, and the guys that are smart, their front left driver's side tire will be in the top of that groove. A few years back, they diamond cut that groove, and it wasn't successful like they thought it would be to get that outside groove open. So in October of '06, they recut the groove, a little wider, a little longer. A lot of guys are loving it, and the guys that seem like they hate it are the guys that don't want to adjust to it. And it's like clear up the NASCAR. If you adjust to the track and you run that outside groove, I can't say it enough, and the viewers are probably going to hate me saying that over the next few months because I'm a true believer. You watch some of these guys run that top groove, they'll win, they'll get to the front.
More dimensional news about this track. We talked about the back straightaway. Let's talk about coming out of turn 4 into the near straightaway on this 3rd mile oval. They actually go a little bit uphill here. And some of the drivers, in fact, have mentioned they don't feel that it's a real complete oval because of the dimensions of turn 4 coming into the straightaway.
Right, because you're going back uphill. And I put it into words is kind of hard, but it almost feels like someone's bumping your right rear quarter panel because it throws. And I've had drivers argue with me going, that turn 4 is just built different than the other 3 turns. But the thing is, if you get an airplane and fly over this place, it's an oval track. But just because of water drainage, you have to have that slope on the track.
Turn 1, most crucial because it's coming out with the green flag with these many cars. What are the other turns that we're going to be looking at?
Turn 2, like I said, it's a confident turn. You feel smooth through 2. If we see a wreck, which we hope we don't tonight, if we see a wreck, it's going to be a multi-wreck in 2. You're going to have single wrecks in 4. 3 now, I shouldn't say this on air because the officials will probably hit. That's where you do your dirty racing. Now, some of these guys say, I don't race anybody dirty, but...
Well, Boots sure did, didn't you?
I heard some rumors that I may have bumped a few bumpers in my day. But I'll tell you what, turn 3, we're about 1 to go here, so we'll get back on that in a minute.
Okay. As you mentioned, turn 1's going to be the most crucial coming out with the green flag. Turn 2 has historically been multi-car pileups. Turn 4, very difficult to come in here, and usually some single cars will lose it. In fact, a few times here historically, the leader has lost the lead and the race in turn 4, hitting the near straightaway.
For the number 75 compact, she had a 10-car lead a few weeks ago, blew a flat. She drove straight into turn 4. Here we go.
All right, here we go with the rolling start, and we're underway under green. 18 laps are in the book of this 20-mile race, and Brad Ramey has held it for the first 2 laps as he has a half a car lead on second place Les Stevenson. And now the 6 car. Christian Bullock makes it 1, 2, 3 into turn 4 on the near straightaway.
Watch a 00 car coming out of 4 right now. He's following that top group here. He's coming. And you have his teammate, the 0 car, going into 1.
Talking about Michael Tyler as they go 3 wide into turn 2, but still on the back straightaway into turn 3, it is still Brad Ramey who leads with 17 laps to go.
The number 2 car, I think that's his uncle. He's raced here for years, and he's working that road.
Now the number 81 car makes a move on the high outside in the middle of the pack. And there is a move by Tom Runkle as he makes his way into the 8th place, but still continuing the lead is Brad Ramey into turn 1, being challenged by the 44 car of Les Stevenson.
70's caught up in traffic back in the pack, and he's trying to get through, but boy, he's got some guys holding him up. He's trying his best.
Christian Bullock still running in that 3rd place, but here comes Ramey again down the near straightaway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in. A little bit of separation there as you see some of the smoke between turn 1 and turn 2. That is the left wheels hitting the dirt on the infield grass.
Yeah, those guys keep that up. They're going to start pointing that black flag at them. They hate when they come off the track. It's an advantage to the driver because it'll slingshot you down the back track, the back stretch. But if they keep kicking dirt up on that track, they get a little aggressive.
Michael Tyler and Runkle making a move, and it's going to be Michael Tyler on the outside right behind the 74 car, and now 6 has made a move. Christian Bullock fights off and is able to get that 2nd place position, but still running behind Brad Ramey with 12 laps to go. So we've almost reached the halfway point of this first race, and now it looks like Bullock is trying to get that inside position, and he's got right there on his quarter panel, and still it's Brad Ramey holding him off. And now he loosens up Ramey, and he's right into his side. And it's going to be Bullock in the infield grass, and he takes the lead from the inside of the infield.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe 86 not coming back at him. That was a little rough race, and he dove underneath of him. He technically did not have that door covered. I'll have to watch that replay later on.
And Derry McCade in the 97 car will run right on the bumper of Christian Bullock. And then you see a spun out Tom Runkle as he had trouble there.
Yeah, someone got on his left rear, but I think he dove down on him.
And now we have a black flag coming out. Number 6 is black flag. Christian Bullock will be disqualified here at the halfway point for rough driving. No doubt on the inside of that infield track.
I call it, you just can't do that. If you, again, peripheral vision, if he can't see you, you have to give the spot. He's not wanting to come off the track. He's a little upset right now. He's probably not watching the flag man, but back in the pack, we got that 70 car. I think he's up at 6th, 7th place right now. He's a coming.
So still McKay, the 97 car, as now you take a look at Bullock in the infield, disqualified after making his move. But here comes the 00 car of Michael Tyler on the outside groove into turn 1.
Yeah, Michael Hyler, last year's compact champion, so he knows how to run outside groove. Look what he's doing right now.
So Hyler trying to get a nose for the lead on the outside groove into turn 3 and a turn 4. Can he hold as they come here to the near straightaway? And he does.
Oh, 97 got into him. That 97 is not going to give him room, and I don't blame him. He's going to protect that bottom, and he's going to try to run him up the track without wrecking him.
So Michael in the 00.
Backstretch wreck.
Trouble in the back straightaway. Trouble in the 70 car of Jason Dennis. And 85 as well, Brad Ramey.
Well, I don't know if they're going to throw the caution or not, but they should. He's going to, if he's 70 smart, he's going to stay put and let him throw the caution. They should, because he got spun.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay.
Yeah, we should look at that replay. I don't know why they're not throwing a caution, because, yeah, well, see, he kind of...
Denise Bartram, the 25 car, got into him on there, loosened him up in the back end.
Okay.
So that's what happened there. So we are under caution, and we have 7 laps remaining here in the first race of the evening here at the Columbus Motor Speedway.
Good thing about the caution now is it's going to bunch the pack back up. It's going to give some of the faster guys a chance to jump to the front. We'll see some good racing. Hopefully they'll put some of the guys back in line. The good thing is they all have their transponders on their car, So they're going to be able to put the field right before the wreck happened on the previous lap.
So we're going to be looking for Heiler and McKay. And that looked to be a pretty good battle here late as they reline up.
And this is the crazy part. You got to give these guys credit. This is one thing I never knew until I set up in the tower, how much goes on up here with the computers and the officials. I mean, when you're out on a track, sometimes you get frustrated because they don't place you where you thought you were. But the thing is, they're going by their transponders, and they say computers don't lie, so that's a big.
Let's go. We talked about you know, how these compacts will go 3-4. We have a five wide. Now tell us what you feel when you're a driver in this situation.
Right now, if you take example, you're thinking, boy, I hope these guys just stay straight and don't come up on me, because, you know, once someone gets in your quarter, it's going to turn you straight into the wall. And then I can't believe they got out of that good. Yep, that was a good shot.
So Michael Heiler in the 00 car, and McKay gave us a couple of thrills on the last 2 laps, and the evening is done for Jason Dennis in the 70 car. Look at the marks already on McKay's car as they were bumping and grinding there on the first couple of turns.
I looked at that 97 car in the pits, and it had fresh paint on it, so he's going to have to get his yellow paint back out when he gets home. He's going to be a little upset with that one.
So Tom Runkle out. Also Christian Bullock black flagged near the halfway point after making his move on the inside between turn 1 and turn 2, was disqualified. So you have 0 out, 6 out, and then the 70 car of Jason Dennis as well out, as you take a look at Bill McElfresh in the number 2 car.
Yeah, Bill, he's raced here for years. He was one of the original compact drivers. I think he's only missed 1 race since the original season. And clean driver. Now, Bill, he'll get you back if you race him rough, but if you run your line and you stay out of his way and you race him fair, he'll race you fair. He's old school driver.
So McElfresh could be a story here with only 5 laps to go.
Yeah, but I don't think he has the horsepower to get the 00 car. Mike, the 00 car of Mike Heiler, he knows how to work that bottom. If you watch, he won't run his typical line. He's going to protect that bottom groove. Like we talked about earlier, he's not going to drift up on 1, drift up in 3. He's going to tighten the bottom up on them, because he knows if they get next to him, he can go ahead and run them off the track a little bit, slow them back down.
So he's going to use his blocking skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Do a little Ryan Newman, you might say.
Just a little Ryan. Well, I think they're going to come around one more time as you take a look at Michael Heiler, and you take a look at the white flag, and that represents one more flag under caution, and then we will begin with another rolling start. It won't be from a dead stop. They will roll around after turn 3, and then the line.
Now watch these. Yeah, the line coming in 4.
Coming in 4 is where they're going to hit the gas.
Now you're going to watch. The veteran drivers are going to be bumping each other right now.
Well, already McElfresh is already bumped into.
That's a key. You might get right up on that guy and get ready to pass him high. But see, 2's lacking a little horsepower. If he had a little bit more horsepower in that car, he could come high. But I think that car, I don't think he's ever touched a motor in that car.
So Heiler and McKay, 1 and 2, as they separate a 3-car length, make it a 4-car length into turn 3 and 4.
No, in the 4th place is the number 69 of Donnie Nash. He's running a good line here. He may get around the 2 car. Oh, lost the wheel. Crashed going in turn 1. He lost his right front, the 2nd place, 97.
Yep, so trouble for McKay, who was running well tonight in that 2nd place position, loses a tire going into turn 1, and we're under caution again.
You know why he lost his tire? I've had it happen. I've seen it happen time and time on these compacts. On a front-wheel drive car, your axle bearing will pop on you. I bet, I hope I could see that wheel and tire, but I bet the hub bearing is still connected to it. I doubt he just broke the lug nuts or what people at home might think happened. Could be wrong, but most of the time, when you put the camber in that right front tire, you put a lot of stress on it. So if he had the factory original, say it's a 150,000 mile Beretta he's driving, that ball joint or that wheel bearing could be bad. He never changed it. So I bet he's frustrated because he's running a heck of a race. And
that's been frustrating for a few of the people that have challenged for the lead. Had 1 black flag and Christian Bullock, and then a few others have spun out and wrecked, and then, well, what frustration for McKay as he loses a wheel into turn 1 and drops him out of the race here.
Okay, the camber. I want to go over the camber a little bit more. The camber on these cars, if you don't have enough camber in your right front, what that does is it rolls your tire almost off the rim, you might say. So the degree you want to set your car up so the camber, so when you go into the turn, your tire rolls over and your full tread of your tire is on the track. So when you go into the turn, now too much camber will break what just happened to the 96.
Too much pressure can't hold, and it just snaps right off. Is that what you're saying?
Right, it'll snap. Now, chances are he took that car, gutted it, made a race car, gut the camber. You know, it takes a lot of money for these guys to get in a starter class. And what happened is he didn't check that wheel bearing. And sometimes you got to jack the car up and wiggle your tire left to right by hand without pressure on the bearing to see how bad it is or how good it is, you might say.
Well, for the number 2 car, Bill McElfresh, he now finds himself running number 2 now.
Right.
With
now,
only 4 laps to go.
Again, I think the battle is going to be the 2 and the 69 car, Donnie Nash and Bill, because I tell you, Donnie's got probably a little bit more horsepower and a lot more money in his car, and he's going to try his best to go. And when they drop the green, he's going to go high on Bill. But again, Bill's an old dirt track driver. He's been racing, I bet, for 40 years, and he was a champ back in his day on the dirt track, so he's going to hold him off pretty good because he's a points racer also. So he wants to try to steal that second place position.
You take a look at Donnie Nash there, and you're saying that he's going to go right after McElfresh when it drops to green.
Right.
He's going to go right on the high groove and try to take him from the outside.
Sure, and he should go right up on his bumper without bumping him. Get right up on him. So when they drop that green, 2 years ago, I was all over Donnie's bumper because my brakes went out, and I used him as my brakes on the restart. So he was a little upset with it. So because of cheap brakes, I didn't have to go buy brake pads. He did. I wore his out.
The way that Michael Heiler has been running in this race, do you think that anybody who poses a threat to him, he's been running real strong?
No, I'd love to say so, but I think with the 70 car out and the 24 car is the next car to look at.
And the 6 car gone.
Right, the 6 car is gone. You know, he had more of an advantage of starting the race on up towards the front. So I think Donnie's the only one to give Mike Heiler a run for his money right now at this point.
Well, there is a shot that you're probably scratching your head and going, what is this? Well, that is Tricky Travelstead. And he has a couple of stunts that he is going to perform for you here on CSN. So not only racing action do we have for you, we have one of the best stunt guys around that is just going to thrill and amaze you. And yes, that bus standing straight up is going to play a big part of stunt number 1.
Well, hopefully he'll hit the bottom of that bus, and his deal was to have the other bus land on top, and I think he's got a little explosives in there to make it more exciting too. He's a good old boy from Kentucky, and he'll put on a good show for us. I guarantee you that.
So here to thrill the fans here and then thrill you in your living room as well here on CSN. Well, just a couple of laps remaining as we're still under caution, as Michael Heiler in the 00 car has held off the challenges of all. In fact, when the race broke, he actually was in the middle of the pack, charged forward, actually got the lead, and has been challenged but hasn't relinquished it. And it looks like he may hold off the rest of the field once we go back under green because he has been running so strong.
Tell you what, you look in turn 2 right now. You have 2 cousins racing. Tasha Cantley in the 26th, the pink car. She's, I believe she's 18 now, and that's her cousin right behind her in a 62 car, and she's 16, I believe. And both have Grandpa Cantley behind them. He was a well-known racer here for years.
And Tasha Cantley in the 26 car, all pink, and she has the pink cowboy hat
she says,
as well on the driver's side. There it is, as you see it there.
2 cousins racing, so that'll be interesting. Thanksgiving, if they wreck each other. Throw a turkey leg at one another.
And Crystal Smith and the 62 car qualified 23rd. And I think they're going to come around one more time. And we should be underway with, again, just 4 laps remaining out of this 20-lap event. And Michael Heiler is still the leader, and we are under green. And right on the bumper, you mentioned it.
Yep.
Right, Donnie Nash right on the bumper of McElfresh, looking to make a move, and that allows Heiler to extend his lead into turn 3.
You got Donnie Nash, 3-year veteran of this division, and so is Bill. Donnie's going to dive under him low, I bet.
And a good block by McElfresh as he takes away that inside groove. But again, look at Heiler stretching his lead now to 8 car lengths in between turn 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah, and Donnie Nash is going to have a heck of a time getting around Bill with the 2 car, because Bill's going to protect that ball. And watch him 1 into 1. He's going to be right on that white line.
He's not going to give it up. He knows he can't catch Heiler, so he's going to protect that bottom. Now, what Donnie Nash needs to watch that 74 car, because she may sneak around him and use Bill as a blocker.
1 lap to go.